Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. At this moment, I am present at Masjid Al-Aqsa, Cornwall. People from Muslim community and all other community and religions are gathering in Masjid Al-Aqsa, Cornwall, in remembrance for the tragic incident of Christchurch, New Zealand. Today, here in Masjid Al-Aqsa, Mayor of Cornwall, Police Chief of Cornwall, MPP Cornwall, Member National Assembly Cornwall, Cornwall Interfaith Partnership members are present in the Masjid Al-Aqsa for the solidarity and faith. Abid Hussain, Bureau Chief, Prime Canada TV, Cornwall, Canada.
I would like to call upon Mr. Maulana Zubair Sahab for the qiraat from the Quran.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر صدق الله العظيم.
I would like to begin my this program with a verse of Quran. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Baqarah verse 154, those who are killed in the cause of God, do not call them dead. In fact, they are alive. They are living, though you cannot perceive their life. Surah Baqarah, verse number 154. We as Canadians and citizens of Cornwall express our deepest condolences on the act of terrorism, a mass shooting which took place on last Friday, 15th of March, in two different mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand. The fatal act of terrorism claimed 49 innocent human beings and left 50 worshippers injured with bullet shots. We have gathered today here to show solidarity and express support with the families of the victims and Muslim community all over the world. We are thankful for your presence and we appreciate the support of the Cornwall community. The devastating attacks in Christchurch bring us together in this moment of grief, but it strengthens our determination to fight terrorism with peace. The innocent worshippers who were killed, they were doctors, engineers, accountants. Some of them migrated years ago to New Zealand, some were there for a short trip. But they all went to offer Friday prayers. They were sons, brothers, and husbands who went to worship God, but they never came back. As responsible citizens and community members, we resolve our pledge that terrorism has no faith, religion, ethnicity, or culture. Terrorism is pure hatred and evil act. We must not link this act of terrorism with any religion, culture, or ethnicity or race. However, it is quite evident that only Muslims were targeted in the attack. Having said that, we are thankful to our community members who are present here, who have expressed support with the Muslim community. And this is not in Cornwall, this is happening all over the world. People are visiting mosques. Mosques have been receiving flowers and their wishes from the community members. After the incident, the mosques and schools in Christchurch were closed, so churches opened their door for the Muslims to offer their prayers. We need this kind of unity and support in the neighborhood, and we are thankful for to the community of Cornwall that you guys showed up in great numbers here. Peaceful rallies, gatherings, and prayers are being held all over the world, and people are also sending messages and support to the mosque and the Muslim community. We are also grateful to Mayor Bernetta Clement, the councillors, Mr. Bergeron, Dupelli, Mr. MacDonald, and the Member of Parliament, Mr. Jim MacDonald, who is also present here. Before we officially inaugurate the program, I would like to call upon our community member, Dr. Uwais, to have...
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I would like to thank you all for breaking the silos and building the bridges between the community. Believe me, this is the nightmare for the terrorists who want to divide us, who want to shatter the unity between us. Lastly, I want to communicate the message to the terrorists, and you all are communicating these messages to terrorists, that we are not afraid of you. You are unable to divide us. We are all united together. I will thanks to Almighty Allah, Alhamdulillah, that all are united right now, and thank you for showing this gesture of unity. And thank you for being with us. I really appreciate your all presence, and it means a lot for us. Thank you again.
Observe a 1-minute silence for those worshippers who were killed. So you can please stand up and we'll observe a 1-minute silence. For all my Muslim brothers and sisters over here, you can recite Surah Fatiha for the martyrs of the attacks. I see a lot of prominent community members present over here right now. I would just like to ask Mr. Ekman, the Police Chief of Cornwall, to please come on stage and have few words with the community that is present right now over here. Mr. Ekman, the Police Chief of Cornwall.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the invitation to come here today. I'm going to be so bold as to offer you some greetings. Salam alaikum. On behalf of the Cornwall Police Service, we offer you our deepest condolences and support to all of the citizens of Cornwall, but particularly those of the Muslim faith in these difficult days. The previous speaker mentioned a video. I would strongly encourage you not to add any credence to watching that video, nor would I encourage anyone or ask anyone to read the Manifesto of Evil that was also posted online. These are some of the downsides of the internet, and evil has ways of finding its way to the surface. But we as a community certainly don't want to spread that message of evil any further than it already has. In terms of our own community safety, when hearing about the events in New Zealand, we immediately reached out to our contacts within the Muslim communities and offered them our support. Through the weekend, we've had routine patrols looking at the the security of the mosques, and we're quite satisfied that things in Cornwall are thankfully quite respectful, and we don't anticipate any problems here in Cornwall in regards to certainly not a repeat of what happened, nor any retribution, and we're very respectful of that, and we certainly offer our services and our availability to anyone that wants to come and speak to myself or any of our officers in regards to the events in New Zealand. I offer special condolences to Aaron and, Alex, is it? McClendon, who is from New Zealand, and special condolences to them and everybody in New Zealand. The police response in New Zealand, I think, was exemplary. It's certainly a situation that no police officer would ever want to have to face, but they did so bravely and as best as they possibly could under what I'm sure were extremely difficult circumstances. So again, on my behalf, on behalf of the Cornwall Community Police Service, we offer you our deepest condolences and wish you all the best here. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Reckman, for your kind words. The Mayor, respected Mayor, Ms. Bernita Clement, to please come over here and have a few words with the community. The Mayor of Cornwall, Ms. Bernita Clement.
Good afternoon. Bonjour. Salam alaikum. Sego. We gather today in sadness as a community, as one people, to mourn and to grieve. We come together to reach out to our fellow citizens of the Muslim faith and to express our heartfelt solidarity. As sisters and brothers, let us embrace one another in understanding, in respect, and yes, in love. I speak to you today not only as the Mayor, but simply as a human being trying to be, who longs, as each of you, who longs for a world of peace and of justice where we can live together in harmony. I see a sign that says that back there. There are times of great darkness, like these, when discouragement and fear can prevent us from seeing the light which has never left us. As a good man of faith that I deeply admire, Martin Luther King, as he said, and he himself was a victim of senseless violence, he said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." And so as a community, let us continue to actively plant the seeds of togetherness, to nurture the growth of understanding and cultivate peace, right here, right now. Let us actively work to bend the arc of that moral universe towards justice and also towards love. I can tell you that I've been comforted and inspired also by the words of the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Ms. Jacinda Ardern, and by the Mayor of Christchurch, Ms. Leanne Dalziel. They have been strong and powerful in their actions and in their words. C'est le temps, plus que jamais, de semer la compréhension, de l'arroser avec de l'amour et de produire un milieu sain et uni. As your Mayor, my heart is heavy today, but also hopeful, very hopeful, and grateful for the richness of our community, which includes our Muslim sisters and brothers. I want to call attention to the presence of councillors that are here. We have Councillor Eric Bergeron, Councillor Elaine MacDonald, Councillor Justin Towndale, Councillor Maurice Dupel. Councillors have sent messages We have the presence of Mayor Bivels from South Dundas. I received messages from the Mayor Jim Wirt from North Stormont. I received messages from Mayor Fraser from North Dundas. I received messages from the Grand Chief Abram Benedict of Akwesasne. So they have all reached out to tell me to tell you that this community is Cornwall, but it's larger than Cornwall. And we support our Muslim sisters and brothers. All of us do. I'd like to read just a couple of messages. I'm sure that you have been on Facebook. You've seen some good things and some bad things. Focus on the positive things because they're way more significant, way more massive and huge than the negative. I just want to quote Angela Youngs. I don't know if you saw her message. It resonated for me, and listening to you, Doctor, in talking to your children. What she said was this: I had to explain to my 6-year-old yesterday why I had tears running down my face as I watched the news. She could see that I was sickened by it. The explanation was a bit tricky, as I don't want her to develop fears about crazy people on the streets with guns, but we got through it. This then brought me to thinking, I wonder how a Muslim family explains to their own children. How incredibly heartbreaking. I truly feel for our Muslim community, and my daily thoughts and prayers include them. The only thing that brings me any comfort now is knowing that we live in a community that embraces our Muslim friends and neighbors, and that they feel safe here. Louise Bazinet-Gendron, I extend my hand to my Muslim friends and neighbors, hope and peace. Mr. Aziz, we should not forget that these hate mongers and terrorists can't divide us. These coward acts bring us together and create a strong bond within our communities, contrary to the wishes of terrorists. Helen Dox Brown, I echo those sentiments, my deepest sympathies to all affected. Over and over and over again, these are local messages from people who live here and who mean what they say. Mayor Frank Prevost sent a message. He is in South Glengarry. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone, including family and friends, as we work together as communities supporting each other. Things will get better. May everyone stay strong, and peace to each and every one of you. I want to read you a letter from Cornwall Interfaith Partnership. To our dear friends and fellow citizens gathered, we are reaching out in solidarity today with the Muslim community as they mourn this senseless act of violence. We stand beside you today to offer our condolences, our support, and our actions to help prevent these tragedies from happening. This week, we also gather in Cornwall on March 21st as part of the observance of the International Day of the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, and try to learn from each other what we can do together to build inclusive and resilient communities. The UN's theme for this year, mitigating and countering rising nationalist populism and extreme supremacist ideologies, is very appropriate and timely. The shootings in New Zealand highlight our need to keep engaged in community building. Our hearts go out to all those who are affected by this senseless act. Debbie St. John DeWitt, who is the Executive Director of the Seaway Valley Community Health Center, had said this: on behalf of the Board of Directors of staff of the Seaway Valley Community Health Center, may I express our condolences to the victims and their families for the horrific and senseless attack on innocent people gathered in prayer in the New Zealand mosque. We want our local Muslim community, to know we are engaged, offering our full support and readiness to help in any way. Our thoughts, hearts, prayers go out to all of you. In this time of heightened security, let's also turn our attention to heightened awareness. We invite the citizens of Cornwall and area to join Muslim sisters and brothers in grief in New Zealand, around the globe, and here at home. We ask residents of Cornwall and area to rally to confront Islamophobia, not only today, but at every opportunity. Hatred and prejudice have no place in our community and no place in our hearts. Together we can make a difference. Denounce Islamophobia. Again, local messages, people, your neighbors, coming together. I am so proud of Cornwall and SDNG. Thank you for being here. Merci. We also have our MPP, Jim McDonnell, here, and our MP, Mr. Guy Lauzon. I'm wondering whether they would like to speak.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I want to say first that we stand in solidarity with our Muslim brothers and sisters, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims and their families of this despicable act. We stand together today united in condemning these horrific hate crimes, for that's what they are. While this terrible attack did not happen here, we all know that we are not immune to this in Canada. We must send out the message that we will not tolerate these hate crimes, and that we are solidly committed in our drive to search out these dangerous underground groups, expose them for what they are, terrorists, and bring the full weight of our laws against them. So as citizens of this great country, we are all responsible in challenging these dangerous beliefs and promoting our rights and freedoms for all. Thank you. We're all responsible.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Bon après-midi, mesdames et messieurs. I just, on behalf of, as a member of Parliament for Stormont, Dundas and South Glengarry, I just want to express my sincere condolences and the sincere condolences of the Government of Canada, all my colleagues in Parliament Hill. They look at this terrible incident the same way as you do. It simply is an act of cowardice. You know, there's no room, someone said earlier, there's no room for terrorism in our great world. And the only way to counteract terrorism is with peace. And I think what we are experiencing here today is peace. And the only way to counter hatred is through love. And I think what we have to do is what all religion teaches us. We have to love one another. And you know, if we love one another, that is the way we're going to overcome this terrible, terrible incident and prevent them from happening in the future. So let's remember that, you know, I was saying to somebody earlier, from something so tragic, so terrible as this incident can come some good. Because we are here together, and let's grow this wonderful feeling that's in this room amongst our community, amongst the riding of Stormont, Dundas, and South Glengarry, and amongst this wonderful country called Canada. Thank you, merci.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Asim, and I'm here to thank every woman, every gentleman, every child who has come to show solidarity at this sad moment. And the solidarity shown by the dignitaries, the common people, is really something for us to give back to the community in general also. Gave us an opportunity to meet each other, to see basically this is a beautiful mosque, and people, they are always welcoming here on both sides. So I will request our Imam, he will, we have another speaker, Mr. Abid Hussain, and to end this, my talk, I would say again, thank you very much, and I really, really appreciate your presence here. Thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Cornwall. Thank you, all the Canadians who are here. Thank you, Mr. Naeem Chaudhary. And thank you who came here to show the solidarity, that humanity, and terrorism have no face. We are all together here to pray for our New Zealand tragic peoples. Things can happen anywhere. I am thankful to our local Mayor Bernadette Cleme, our Chief Police, and Mayor, and also the MPA, MVP, and the other delegates who came over here today. And I express myself for today's tragic accident in New Zealand. And we are all Canadian and we are all together. So thank you very much again for coming here, and I am thankful on behalf of Mr. Naeem Chaudhry and the committee of Al-Aqsa Masjid, Mr. Bilal, Hafiz Bilal, and all the members who are not present are present here. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome.
Maulana Wakil Abdul Wakili for the prayers in English.
Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters in humanity, welcome. I thank you for your show of support and solidarity. This is indeed a saddened day for us. Not only for us, but for every human being who has feelings of dignity in their heart. So God says, we have certainly honored the children of Adam and carried them on the land and sea and provided for them of the good things. So we have always to remember, as Muslims, we always remember this. We always know that there is a fundamental unity that connects us all with everybody else on this planet. I would like to read you a poem that is on social media, written by a Chinese sister who has converted to Islam. She says, appreciate, this is a poem written to the person who did the shooting. Appreciate that you learned more about our religion to know that Fridays are the days the men go to the mosque for their congregational prayers. But I guess there were some way that you made countless New Zealanders come out of their homes to visit the mosques nearest to them with flowers, with beautiful message of peace and love. Thank you again for your presence. Thank you for your show of support. I'll ask, we have gathered here to ask our Lord to please bless the souls of the people who were martyred and keep them as He's promised in His close intimacy. We ask our Lord to bring the hearts of the people closer to each other, to eliminate the hatred and animosity in the world, and replace it with hope, brotherhood, love, and solidarity. We ask God to give patience and endurance to the people who were left behind, the survivors of the people who were killed in New Zealand. Thank you.